So my name is Veronica Ramruch. I'm 51 years old. I hail from a small town on the north coast. It is Verulam. So I am a breast cancer survivor. I fought breast cancer 6 years ago on my first diagnosis and 2 years ago on my second diagnosis. I was diagnosed at 45 years old. My first diagnosis of cancer was in August 2015. And then I had a second diagnosis followed by breast cancer, the same breast cancer, and that was in February 2019. Okay, the first diagnosis I was stage 3B and the second diagnosis was stage 2A. So like every other woman at the age of 40, I decided to go for my annual screening, and I did that. I continued doing that from the age of 40 right up to 45, and my mammo was due actually in September, and in August I went in, and the reason for me going in is because I felt on the right hand side my right breast was swelling, and it was becoming unbearable. I actually left it for 3 weeks and thought, you know what, it'll actually go away. Even though I have a family history of breast cancer, still in my mind I thought that it couldn't be cancer. So I decided to book for a mammogram 3 weeks later, and I was then had an ultrasound and I had a biopsy, and then I was diagnosed with stage 3 triple negative cancer. It's a feeling I can't explain to somebody that has never experienced cancer. However, what I can tell you is that I felt overwhelmed, I felt despondent, I felt angry, I felt like everything was coming to an end. I didn't know whether I was going to live or die. I didn't know how I was going to tell my family whether I was actually going to make it. That's how you say goodbye. But what I've learned is to trust in God and just go with my journey. I had a support network, and my biggest support was my husband. He was actually my ears, my eyes. He was everything to me. I was supported by the Ask Nelson service, having face-to-face counseling as well, because until this time that I was going in for chemotherapy, I was always in denial, thinking that, you know what, not thinking that I had breast cancer. Even though they told me I had breast cancer, it was as though I was just trying to let that out of my mind. But as I said, without my husband and the people around me, I would have never made this journey. But most of all, it was God that took me through this journey. My first diagnosis, because my tumor was larger than 10 centimeters, I had to have a treatment plan of having 16 rounds of chemotherapy to reduce the actual breast lump, and then have the right mastectomy, and then 25 days of radiation. So I was fortunate because when I had my 16 rounds of chemotherapy, my breast lump reduced from 10 centimeters to 2. Hence me having the breast surgery, but unfortunately I had to remove the entire breast due to the stage of cancer that I was in, and having a family history on the paternal side of breast cancer. My second diagnosis, there again on a biannual examination, because of my first diagnosis I was told to have biannual examinations, and I went in for one of the biannual examinations, and I was again diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, okay, and that on the left hand side of the breast. So there again I had 4 rounds of aggressive chemotherapy. I had it was called taxane and cyclophosphamide, and I also had Herceptin injections in my thigh on both legs, and yeah, that took me through to 2 months, to and fro the emergency centers, ICU, fighting for your life. It's what you have to do in order to get through your journey. So I think most of all, in everything that you experience in life, you have to trust in God, because without God you can actually go nowhere. You gotta love life. You gotta live the moment. You gotta trust your healthcare professionals. You gotta live like there's no tomorrow. Every day is a journey. Every minute that you live is precious. And no matter what you do, you got to fight with courage and determination. For every breast cancer person that's yet to be diagnosed, is leave it in the hands of the healthcare professional. Each of us are different. We will never experience the same side effects. Some of us make it through these journeys, others don't. But at least we fought through courage and determination.